All right, hello and welcome to the show. This is New England Sports Today with myself, Samuel Reese, coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Today is Friday, August 3rd, 2018. First of all, I wanted to apologize for starting at a different time for those of you news that we needed to give you. And I apologize. We had trouble connecting for a few seconds there. But also, let's get to the news. Excuse me, we had technical difficulties there. The Red Sox did have a game last night. They played the New York Yankees, and what a thriller it really was. The finals, New York Yankees 7, Boston Red Sox 15. The hits in favor 39, and Boston goes to 76 and 34. Gregorius for the Yankees was 2 for 5 with 2 home runs, 20 on the year with 4 RBI. But Pierce for the Red Sox was phenomenal, 3 for 5, 3 home runs, 8 on the year and 6 RBI, so even more impressive from Pierce. So let's look at the Sox box last night versus the Yankees. Betts at right field went 4 for 4 with a double, RBI, 3 runs, 2 walks. Benintendi at left field went 3 for 6 with a double, 3 RBI, and 2 runs. Pierce at first base, as I mentioned, went 3 for 5 with 3 home runs, 6 RBI, and a 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, an RBI, 2 runs, and a walk. Kinsler at second base went 3 for 6 with a double, a 2 RBI, and 2 runs. Nunez at third base went 2 for 5 with a double, an RBI, and a run. Swire at catcher was one of 2 players who actually didn't play well. It was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And Holt, the other, at shortstop, went 0 for 4, but with a walk. And Bradley Jr. at center field went 1 for 4 with a double, an RBI, 2 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And, of course, Johnson, the pitcher, got the win in 5 innings pitched. He allowed 6 hits, 4 unearned runs, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. A little shaky at the beginning. We'll be discussing his performance later in the show anyway. So, as I mentioned, Steve Pierce was phenomenal, 3 for 5 with 3 home runs, 8 on the year, 6 RBI. Defeat the Yankees 15-7, a huge win, really, in spectacular fashion, really. We'll also take a look at the AL East standings. Boston is at 76 and 34. The New York Yankees at 68 and 39, now 6.5 games behind. Tampa Bay at 56 and 53, 19.5 games behind. Toronto 48 and 59, 26.5 games behind. And Baltimore 33 and 75, 42 games behind. So we'll be talking about those standings later. Also, Jonathan Holder for the Yankees got the loss in 0 innings pitched. He allowed 5 hits, 7 earned runs, a walk, and 0 strikeouts. So a very tough night for Holder. Anyway, Eduardo Rodriguez is to throw a bullpen on Sunday. He could be sent on a rehab assignment. And Xander Bogaerts was hit by a pitch on Tuesday, but he could be in the lineup tonight, which is good news for Red Sox fans. Also, a report that the Patriots have signed wide receiver Eric Decker to a 1-year contract. So what's on deck? Receiving yards per season for Eric Decker, the wide receiver. In 2014 and 15, he 962 yards. 2015 and 16, 1,027. In 2017 and 18, 563. He just played 3 games in 2016 and 17. Also, today's trivia is, who is the last Red Sox player to hit 3 home runs in a game against the Yankees? Was it Adrian Beltre, Kevin Millar, or was it David Ortiz? So the final score was New York Yankees 7, Boston Red Sox 15. We'll be talking about that game a lot more. Speaking of that series, the Yankees at Red Sox is tonight, beginning at 5:30 Eastern Time, with Severino 14 and 4 with a 2.94 ERA on the mound versus Porcello, who's 13 and 4 with a 4.03 ERA. Also the overnight sensation was Lueri Garcia made a leaping catch, a phenomenal one, really. Also in that same game, Brett Phillips made a diving grab as the White Sox defeated the Royals 6-4. And, of course, Steve Pierce hit 3 home runs versus the New York Yankees. So, as you can see, we have a ton to get to, really. And I can't wait to discuss it before our weekend break. So let's get talking about it. First of all, starting with the Red Sox games, a crazy game, really. Red Sox winning 15-7 with 19 hits, although the Yankees did have 8. One error for each. So Yankees at 68-39, Red Sox at 76-34. Gregorius with not a bad game for the Yankees, but Pierce, on the other hand, an even better game, going 3 for 5, 3 home runs with his 8th on the year and 6 RBI. Pierce having the game of his life, really, and what a game it was for him as he just kept bombing them out of the park. One of them going over the monsters, another hitting the light post. It was just a phenomenal night for Pierce, a big part of the Red Sox win with 6 RBI, as I mentioned. Quite phenomenal, as that is 40% of the runs that the Red Sox had. So Pierce, out of nowhere, really playing phenomenal. He has been pretty good lately, but not this good. We weren't expecting this, and I'm sure many of you, like my grandpa, I'm not gonna throw Pepe under the bus. Sorry, Pepe, if you're watching this, but you probably did give up on them early on as they were down 4-0, 4-1 after 2 innings. You were probably like, nah, not gonna watch this, which a lot of people were like. But a shame if you missed it. But a huge game really, and 15-7, just phenomenal from the Red Sox. Speaking of them, their whole team really was hot. Betts 4 for 4, Benintendi 3 for 6, Pierce 3 for 5, Martinez also 3 for 5, Kinsler 3 for 6, Nunez 2 for 5. Swihart and Holt, only the ones who really didn't have a good night on the offensive side of things, both going 0 for 4. Bradley Jr. 1 for 4. And Johnson, he did get the win in 5 innings pitched. He had allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Excuse me for a second. I'll be right there. I apologize there. My dog's being a pain. But so yeah, Johnson, he struggled early on, but was better as the night went on. I mean, Betts, the only one who was a perfect 4 for 4. Betts was phenomenal too. Not to take away from Pierce's 3 home runs, but everyone really with a great performance last night. It was phenomenal to see from the Red Sox. But speaking of Johnson, he did allow 4 earned runs, which wasn't that impressive to start off anyway. That was all in 2 innings actually. But he did pitch 5 innings, and he got in a rhythm. He played better as the game went on with 2 walks, but 11 strikeouts. So Johnson, maybe not the best of starts, but his offense really bailed him out. But he did, after the first 2 innings, pitch very well indeed. So good to see from Johnson. Also, once again, Steve Pierce, an absolutely phenomenal game. And the Red Sox did defeat the Yankees 15-7. So a good series opener for sure as they take the series lead. But still 3 games ahead. So we'll see how they do tonight and the rest of the weekend, which I'm sure on Monday we'll have a lot to talk about as the series will be done by then. But looking forward to the rest of the series. So the standings, the Red Sox now go 6.5 games ahead of the Yankees, which they take an even bigger leap over the Yankees. But so the rest of the series is vital for the Yankees, really, with now the Red Sox at 6.5 games ahead with a 75-34 record. New York, on the other hand, 68-39. So we'll see how those standings look at the end of the series. But right now, looking good from a Red Sox perspective. Not so good from a Yankees perspective, as the Yankees really not a good night at all. And I'll be talking about that in a quick second. A game at a time when they play the Yankees. Each win is really vital. Speaking of the Yankees' terrible night, really, speaking of that terrible night, Jonathan Holder of the Yankees, obviously losing the game, just pitched 0 innings, couldn't even record an out, allowed 5 hits, 7 earned runs, and a walk and 0 strikeouts. So an awful game, really, for Holder. Must feel awful because couldn't even record an out before all the while letting up 7 runs. An awful night for him, I'm sure, because that's just a pitcher's nightmare, really. And good for the Red Sox, but not so good for him. Also, Eduardo Rodriguez is to throw in the bullpen on Sunday, but he could also be sent on a rehab assignment. Of course, that ugly ankle twist, really, on that out he recorded the other week versus Toronto. Very nasty incident, really, and we hope Rodriguez will be better, but it looks like he is getting better, as it looks like he'll throw in the bullpen on Sunday. But he also could be sent on a rehab assignment, which is good also. Either way, it's good to see him back pitching, as he was really pitching well before that injury, to be honest, and hopefully we can get him back, as Chris Sale's on the DL right now. Anyway, so good to see Erod getting better. Also, Xander Bogaerts, another injury, really. He was hit by a pitch Tuesday, I'm sure you remember. But he could be in the lineup tonight, which is very good news for us Red Sox fans, because Xander Bogaerts really was playing well. Also, seems like everyone getting injured was playing well before they got injured. But anyway, Xander Bogaerts, he was available last night, but didn't end up playing. But it seems like he could be in the lineup tonight, which would be huge. I'm sure he really wants to play in this good old rivalry in tonight's matchup. But anyway, good to see Xander Bogaerts possibly in the lineup tonight also. So that's all for Red Sox news for now anyway. But also there's a report from that the Patriots have signed wide receiver Eric Decker to a 1-year contract, which is huge, really. We'll see how Eric Decker does. It's surprising and not surprising, really, because it seemed like we did need a wide receiver with Jordan Matthews getting released. It seemed like we did need another wide receiver, but also a little surprising that they actually did go get Decker, because he's been all right lately. Of course, he did have experience with Josh McDaniels, probably the big reason why. But anyway, Josh McDaniels coached him, got him to come to Denver, actually, and that's when Decker played the best football in his career, really, before going to the Jets and then the Titans, of course. But it looks like he's going to be with the Patriots now, and we'll see what kind of impact he can have with them. Definitely an interesting signing for the Patriots. So in 2014 and 15, he did have 962 receiving yards. 2015 and 16 was his best year with 1,027. 2017 and 18, still not bad with 563. Just playing 3 games in 2016 and 17 with injury. So definitely potential in Eric Decker, and exciting for the Patriots. We'll see how good he can perform at this point in his career. But it will remain to be seen as Eric Decker has joined the Patriots. So of course, good news for the Patriots there. Going back to the Red Sox, a huge 15-7 win, and I'm just looking forward to the series, the rest of the series, still 3 more games, with the second one taking place tonight. And Yankees at Red Sox is tonight. The coverage starting at 5:30 Eastern Time. I want to talk a little bit more about the pitchers tonight. Severino is on the mound. Their ace, really, 14-4, a 2.94 ERA, taking on Porcello, who's 13-4 with a 4.03 ERA. So really, 2 solid pitchers, but you really got to question how Severino will be feeling heading into this game, because he's definitely been struggling lately, and he's their ace. The starting pitcher is really a problem for the Yankees ball club, with great relievers, really, although we didn't see that much of good relieving last night anyway. But anyway, Severino with really an awful ERA in his last couple of starts. So not with good confidence for sure heading in to tonight's game, but especially seeing the Red Sox put up 15 runs last night, he has to be a little nervous heading into that. Porcello, on the other hand, has been phenomenal lately. 13-4 record, a 4.03 ERA. Definitely could improve a little bit on that, but otherwise, Porcello has been performing phenomenal for the Red Sox, and no signs of him changing that tonight. Hopefully, he can keep up his solid performances. And who really knows how Severino will perform tonight, as he's been a little shaky in his last couple of starts. But an exciting matchup on the mound tonight. So we'll answer today's trivia right now. Actually, the question was, who is the last Red Sox player to hit 3 home runs in a game against the Yankees? Was it Adrian Beltre, Kevin Millar, or David Ortiz? The answer is Kevin Millar on July 23rd of 2004. Bringing back the memories there. Believe it or not, I was just a couple of days old, and I will admit it. But yeah, so I obviously don't remember it. Just a couple of days old, but I like the trivia and good to look into some history of Boston sports. Also, go back to the overnight sensation. Lori Garcia really made a fantastic leaping catch at the wall for the White Sox. But on the other hand, for the Royals, Brett Phillips made a phenomenal diving grab as the White Sox did defeat the Royals 6-4. And, of course, Steve Pearce hitting 3 home runs versus New York Yankees. How could that not be an overnight sensation? What a sensation it really was, as he had a phenomenal night last night. Hats off to Steve Pearce, because what a game it was for him and the Red Sox all around. That's your overnight sensation. Also, before the show ends, I did want to mention that the Red Sox do play tonight versus the Yankees, 7 Eastern time, 4 Pacific time, on NESN for those of you in New England. Stream it live on NESN.com and the NESN Go app for those of you like me outside of New England. And, of course, you can plug it right into your TV if you have the right cable cord for your computer. That's what I do. I stream it live on NESNGO.com. And put the cord, plug it up right into my TV. So it's like I'm watching back in Massachusetts, right back home on the regular NESN channel. So it's great, really. Anyway, back on topic. The game 3 of the series will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time, streaming nationally on Fox Sports 1. So you can watch it nationally there. Also, Sunday night, another national TV game on Sunday Night Baseball. To close out the series, it will be 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. So a lot to look forward to. 2 nationally televised games coming up to close out the series. So we'll have a lot to talk about on Monday for the Red Sox, and I'm sure it won't disappoint this weekend. So watch that series. Also, I wanted to close out the last 2 minutes talking about the Revolution. The Revolution do play Orlando City tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, on NBC Sports Boston. And for those of you outside of New England, you can watch it on ESPN Plus, like myself. So a big game for the Revolution coming off their bye week. It really is a huge game for them, as they currently sit in the last spot in the playoffs picture, and heading into the last couple games of the season, it really is important to get the wins, especially against these conference, not rivals, but maybe rivals, but conference teams, opponents in these last couple games, especially versus a team like Orlando. It will be huge to get the win, as it's not always secure or safe with that last playoff spot. So I definitely want to get the win tomorrow night, and a huge game for the Revolution. And hopefully with a 7-7-7 record, sitting on 28 points, hopefully that they can improve that record and not secure it, but feel confident to get that playoff spot, because playoffs are very much the main goal this season after failing to qualify last season. Hopefully the Revolution will do good tonight. Hopefully the Red Sox will, who knows, maybe sweep the Yankees. That would be phenomenal. But I don't want to get too confident. But at least win the series. It would be great, really. So we got Red Sox Revolution this weekend, Patriots training camp, nearing Celtics and Bruins seasons, believe it or not. We'll have a ton to get to after the weekend, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. I'm sure we'll have a ton to talk about. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning out, and go New England. See you next time.